Sometimes, the people we love the most become the ones who break us the deepest. Their betrayal doesn't just hurt the heart, it shakes the entire foundation of who we thought we were. This is the story of Maya and the quiet, powerful journey she took back to herself. Maya once lived in a space filled with laughter, warmth, and trust. But slowly, the environment changed. Words became sharp. Love turned into wounds. And the place she called home became a battlefield of disappointment. One day, after another moment of hurt she could no longer pretend to ignore, Maya paused. She looked around and realized staying in a toxic place was slowly destroying her spirit. So she made a brave choice. She stepped away. Not out of anger, not for revenge, but for clarity, for peace, and for her own survival. Distance became her healing ground. In the silence of her new space, she found room to breathe again, room to think, room to feel. And in those quiet moments, when the pain threatened to overwhelm her, she turned to God. She prayed for guidance, for protection, for the strength to rise above the dark thoughts that came with heartbreak. And slowly, gently, God began to mend what betrayal had broken. Days passed. The hurt softened. Her mind cleared. Her heart learned to beat without fear. She discovered something powerful. Healing begins when you choose yourself. She learned to love herself again, fully, deeply, patiently. And with time, the wounds closed. Not because she forgot the pain, but because she grew stronger than what tried to break her. And now, Maya walks with a calm spirit, a wiser heart, and a renewed sense of purpose. Her story is a reminder for you today. If you are hurt, if you feel betrayed, if your heart is heavy, step back, seek clarity, protect your peace. And above all, ask God to guide your healing, because with time, with love, with faith, you will rise again.
They say some truths are too heavy to speak, yet many walk under the same burden, betrayed, ashamed, silenced, because we live in a world that rewards appearance over honesty. Marriage is praised as sacred. Family is supposed to be safe. But between the vows and holiday photos, between the smiles and how are you texts, there are secrets. The kind we whisper to ourselves in sleepless nights. The kind we bury under polite greetings and forced laughter. People do not talk about betrayal when it comes from one's own sister, or about the shame when the sister-in-law becomes more than family. Because who would believe? Because who would want to hear? Because in many cultures, being wronged by family is something you suffer in silence, or else risk losing both family and respect. Maya and Isaac's home have been their sanctuary, a modest two-story house in a quiet neighborhood. The walls painted soft cream, the living room filled with warm browns and greens. Photographs of their wedding, holiday trips, friends, and family lined a shelf above the fireplace. 2 years in, they had built routines. Sunday brunch at a cafe nearby, evening walks along tree-lined streets. Maya taught at a small school. Isaac did software work from home and some freelance projects. Life was steady. Then one afternoon, Maya's younger sister, Zoe, arrived with a suitcase and tears. Her marriage had fallen apart. She called her life empty. She asked to stay until she got back on her feet. Maya and Isaac exchanged glances. They agreed. It felt right at first. Help your sibling in crisis. Zoe's presence was welcomed by both. She used the spare room, helped with chores, greeted Isaac in the morning with coffee, chatted with Maya about everyday things. She seemed fragile, needing comfort. Maya felt protective. But beneath that normalcy, something shifted. Zoe began staying up late in the living room. Isaac started working late nights. Maya sometimes caught Zoe sitting by Isaac's desk, both silent, as if lost in thought. She brushed away unease. Sisters should care. Husbands should protect. She trusted both. Night came. The lights were low. Maya lay awake. She listened for footsteps, strange silences. She remembered a time months ago when Isaac was fully open. Now, she sometimes felt shut out. One night, she heard sobbing from Zoe's room. She got up, knocked gently. Zoe opened, red eyes. "Are you okay?" Maya whispered. Zoe nodded, wiping tears. "I'm fine." Maya left it there. But that night, she dreamt of dark rooms, half-spoken words, betrayal. She woke with her heart pounding. The next morning, Isaac said he had a meeting downtown. Maya offered to go with him. He declined. Zoe watched them leave. That look in her eyes lingered in Maya's mind. A longing, a hidden grief. Later, Zoe asked Maya to make her eggs. They cooked side by side. Their conversation was light. School, community, hopes. Yet Zoe's eyes flickered when Maya mentioned Isaac. Hours passed. Maya's unease grew, but she suppressed it. She convinced herself, "I'm reading too much into it." By midday, tensions thickened. Zoe started canceling plans with friends, staying in. Isaac was distant, curt, when Maya tried to talk. She asked him what was wrong. He said nothing. The silence itself became an answer. That evening, Maya confronted Zoe gently. "Do you want to go for a walk?" Zoe agreed. They walked under streetlights, in the gentle hush of an evening breeze. Zoe stopped, voice trembling. "Maya, there's something I need to tell you." Maya's heart clenched. Zoe continued, half crying. "It just happened. I didn't plan it. I'm so sorry." Maya asked, voice barely audible. "Happened what?" Zoe swallowed. "Isaac and I'm pregnant." Time froze for Maya. The air felt heavy. She touched her throat. "What? What do you mean?" Zoe dropped her head. "He's the father." Maya's knees buckled. She clutched a tree trunk. The street lamps flickered. Zoe's confession echoed in her ears. The betrayal she had feared became concrete, sharp. They walked back silently. Maya forced polite words. Zoe wept. Maya felt tears stinging, but her face felt numb. Back in the house, Maya confronted Isaac. She found him in the study, hunched over his laptop. She closed the door softly. Isaac looked up, startled. "Is it true?" Maya asked, voice cold, drained. Isaac stood, shock in his eyes, then sorrow. He nodded. Zoe appeared behind him, hands trembling. "I'm sorry," she said. Maya's vision blurred. Rage, sorrow, disbelief warred in her. She screamed, slammed doors, threw books. She cursed him, cried. She felt as though every memory in those walls was stained. Isaac tried to explain. Guilt, weakness, confusion, that he never meant to hurt her. Zoe sobbed, saying she never intended this. Maya's heart broke for the child growing, for the future, for the betrayal by two people she loved. She ran out to the garden, sobbed into the rain. She felt the world spin. The betrayal was brutal. The home she built with Isaac, the trust she had in Zoe, all shattered. Zoe tried to follow. Maya turned away. Isaac reached her hand. She flinched. She would not let him touch her. Maya gathered what she could: clothes, her passport, journals, a small amount of cash. She packed into a duffel bag. She called a friend to pick her up. She couldn't stay a moment longer. Isaac and Zoe begged. Maya heard their pleas as distance grew. She said, "I don't know if I can ever forgive, but I can't stay here." She apologized to Zoe and to Isaac, not for leaving, but for the shared pain. The friend's car arrived. Maya saw Isaac collapse to the floor, the weight of guilt. She saw Zoe clutching her belly. She closed the door. She left behind the house, the memories, the betrayal. Rain fell heavier as the car drove off. Maya watched the windows fade. The home she loved became the place of her deepest wound. Maya moved through airports, transit lounges, flights. Each mile she traveled felt like both victory and heartbreak. She thought of how long she'd stayed silent, ignored signs, trusted blindly. On the plane, she wrote in her journal in her thoughts, "I trusted two people who were supposed to protect me. I loved more than I thought I could. I feel shattered, but I choose a path out." Tears fell. She closed her journal. The plane landed. She arrived in a new country, unfamiliar, frightening, but free from that house's ghosts. She found a small rented room. She lay on the bed, staring at the ceiling. The betrayal still throbbed, but she felt the first pulse of strength, survival. In the morning, Maya walked the new city. She explored quiet streets, looked in shop windows, felt the wind on her face. She called an old friend, talked, cried. She reached out to a therapist. She shared her story, partly at first, gingerly. She went to a cafe, ordered coffee. She journaled again. She remembered the early days with Isaac, his laugh, their dreams. She remembered Zoe as the sister who cried, asked for help. She asked, where did it all go wrong? She let herself grieve for the loss, for trust broken, for the version of herself that believed in perfect love. She let anger come. She let sorrow come. She let silence come too. Little by little, she felt a new foundation forming, one built on her own value, her boundaries, her voice. Maya considered contacting family, telling them her side. She drafted a message to her mother. I'm safe. Please don't pressure me to go back. She drafted one to Isaac and one to Zoe. She decided she might forgive in heart to free herself, but would not trust them as before. Her mother called, tearful, demanding she return. Maya explained, I cannot live in a house built on lies. I need distance to heal. Her mother wept, said family must stick together. Maya stayed firm. Zoe texted, I'm sorry. I know I ruined everything. Will you ever talk to me? Maya read it, closed the message. She replied shortly, I will not talk now. I need time. She deleted the message. She refused further contact for now. Isaac tried emailing, begging, promising change. Maya read, paused, then archived. She would decide later, if ever. She reinforced boundaries, no calls, no visits for now. She told her therapist she would heal first before making any decisions about relationships. Maya applied for a teaching job, made contacts. She joined a local support group.
The sunrise glowed. Maya felt a flicker of possibility. Not assurance, but possibility. And in that fragile, golden light, she understood something her pain had been trying to teach her all along. Healing is not a destination. It is a decision made every morning. For the first time in months, she inhaled deeply, letting the cold air fill her lungs. She had walked through fire. She had survived storms that could have broken anyone. She had seen the dark side of love, the betrayal of blood, and the silence of those who should have protected her. Yet she was still standing. She closed her eyes and whispered to herself, "What they did may have wounded me, but what I choose now will define me." She did not know what tomorrow held. She did not know when the scars would stop aching, but she knew this. She would no longer shrink for anyone. She would no longer carry guilt for another's sin. She would no longer love others more than she loved herself. In the quiet glow of morning, Maya gathered the remnants of her strength and stitched them together with courage. Not perfect courage, just enough to take the next step. And sometimes, that is all a new beginning needs. She reached for her journal, her voice steady as she wrote the final line. I rise, not because I was never broken, but because I refused to stay broken. Then she stood, lifted her chin to the light, and walked forward. Not into the life she lost, but into the life she chose.
Subscribe and join our storytelling family for uplifting, inspiring tales that teach resilience, strengthen your spirit, and guide you to see life positively, so you rise above challenges and never fall into depression. Subscribe and join our storytelling family for uplifting, inspiring tales that teach resilience, strengthen your spirit, and guide you to see life positively, so you rise above challenges and never fall into depression.